Hey y'all, Luna popping in. Thank you so much for visiting my page or my channel. Wherever we are connecting, I appreciate you for being here. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so that we will remain connected. I'm sorry, I swear. The dogs didn't start to bark until I started this video. It's crazy. But anyway, this is an unconventional series review, part 2 of Breaking Bad. I'm on the final season, season 5, episode 6, called Buyout. I am at the point in this series, this will contain spoilers. I'm at the point in this series where I'm ready for it to be over, right? I don't like Walt at all anymore. I think he's become so unbelievably obnoxious and egomaniacal, right? So much has happened since I last popped in. I was on season 2 when I popped in last, and like I said, this is the series, the final season of the series. I think it's 16 episodes, 13 or 16 episodes, and I'm only on episode 6. So I'm just about halfway through the last season, but I cannot stand Walt, and I totally understand to a degree why Skylar is disgusted, because she did participate, so she can't play partial victim. You participated, so you were okay with it. You can't be in and out. And I don't know if it was because of the Ted situation, and I knew he was going to slip on that damn mat, right? I don't know if it was because of Ted and his accident and injury that she felt guilty, but she stole the money from the house in the first place, right? Her hands are just as dirty. Well, not just as dirty, because, okay, Walt and poisoning Jesse's girlfriend's kid with the lily of the valley berries or whatever it was. Walt's turned into a monster, and I'm not a fan of that. I have watched him go from the nerdy person, but you know what? All of that just had to be inside of him. There's no way you can just automatically poison a kid or shoot the drug dealer on the corner after you run him over. Really? Walt's a maniac. He's a monster. And we've watched his evolution right before our eyes. But Skylar still isn't innocent. She still isn't innocent. The son is smart. Walt Jr., aka Flynn, he's smart. He knows something is going on. He just doesn't know what. But he's quick to blame his mom. And I have a problem with that as a mom. How children are so quick to blame the mom instead of the dad. Because she's just covering for Walt, but she's absorbing the brunt of the punishment. And it's not fair. And I don't like that. But again, she is not innocent. She is laundering the money. So you in that game, I understand you can't be partially in. Once you dip your toes in, you might as well just go ahead and take that full dip. Because as far as Hank, the brother-in-law, who is the DEA agent, I think his character was a little bit unbelievable for me. I understand his PTSD from Texas when they put Dude's head on this tortoise. I understand turtle or whatever it was. I do understand his PTSD from that, because it was definitely a traumatic event. But with him getting shot by those crazy ass Mexican twins, can we talk about them for a minute? Y'all, I'm trying to do this video and hold this baby at the same time. My arm keeps giving out on me. So bear with me, but can we talk about some crazy ass Mexican twins or brothers, because they weren't twins. They were brothers that never said a word, or if did they ever say a word? They may have uttered one line, but other than that, they were silent, but they were crazy killers, right? They played that role really well. And one of my favorite Latino actors, Raymond Cruz, he played Tuco, but he was only in it for 3 episodes. And I remember reading up on why he left the series was because he felt that the energy of the character was too negative, and he didn't want to continue portraying him. But I thought it was longer than 3 episodes. I mean, damn, didn't you read the script, my man? Didn't you know what it was going to be about? Didn't you know the energy was negative when you saw cartel, Mexican cartel drug lord? I mean, I don't understand where the confusion is, but, I do respect his. If stuff is too heavy and it's too negative on your spirit, you have to let it go. So I do respect him for that. But again, didn't you read the script? And special shout out to the uncle who was in the nursing home who rang the bell. He blew his ass up, didn't he? When he blew up Fring Gustavo, when he ding 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 ding, and then when Gustavo walked out of the room and we saw him turn, he was looking like Harvey Two Face. I said, damn. But what happened to Tyrus? Because Tyrus was in there, and you know what? I'm all over the place, and I know it because this is my first time watching Breaking Bad. I know it was out whatever year it was. I know I'm late. That's why I said this has spoilers because this has been out for a long time, and it's on Netflix if anybody's interested. But it took me a long time to get into it because I just couldn't get past the women, the wife and the sister. They just got on my nerve like pecking nuisances. And I was like, I really don't want to watch this. And just how they bullied him into chemotherapy. And I guess maybe I looked at it as a chronic illness warrior. Maybe I looked at it from that perspective, having someone on the outside try to convince you to take a therapy or medication that you really don't want to take because you know how harsh you've read up on it. You know how it can affect your organs or your joints or whatever. And to be kind of bullied into medication, and people swear. And I do get it that people also want the best for you, but y'all gotta stop doing that. That's rough on us. Back on track. This is why I'm ready for it to be over. I I kind of know how it's going to end because when it was the hubbub, I did read all over social media and all. I know that Hank and Walt die. I know Jesse gets away only because I know he's got a movie, El Camino, so I know he survived. I know Saul Goodman gets arrested and but then he ends up with the series. So I didn't even know Better Call Saul was connected to the series until now. Okay, my older grandchildren have come in requesting my attention, more like demanding, and this little fella has arisen. So I just want to wrap it up by saying I'm just about finished the episode 6 of season 5. It's only that this is the final season of Breaking Bad. I'm ready for it to be over. It's at the point where they're trying to sell the methylamine, and Walt does not want to sell it. And he's tied up to the Oh, this is what just pissed me off. That's why I had to stop. Because he's tied up to the radio. Now he's turned into MacGyver. I know he's a chemist and all, but with him stripping the wires and I just felt like, oh my God, I'm really ready for. That's the point where I just rolled my eyes. I'm really ready for this to be over. Skylar clearly hates his guts. She doesn't want to be near him, and that's a level of disgust I understand. Whether she's guilty and she got her hands dirty too, but I understand that disgust because I've been there. but she can still be disgusted by him and still have her hands dirty, and she does. But I'll pop back in eventually when I make it through the end of the series. So for my 2 months, what is he? 10 weeks old. My man's gotten chubby and chunky, and this is my baby, y'all. This is my baby. Peace, love, and blessings. I might blot out his face because all these changes that they're making to social media, I don't know if I wanted to put his face on here. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just put it up for a minute and then take it down because he deserves to be seen. He's adorable. Peace, love, and blessings, y'all. Luna out.